There's been some pretty interesting tech that's come out for the Great Rifts rankings. It all centers around this neutral card, which was previously completely unused, Glorious Resistance. What this card does is after you play it, it's an upgrade card for 3 AP, which is a lot, but you only have to play it once. It'll give you 1 AP every single turn, and more importantly, it'll reduce your HP by 10% of your max HP. The damage being more important sounds kind of weird, but this has to do with the way the scoring works. Because the scoring, besides the damage that you deal, you'll also get score based on how much you recover. And recover is a very specific term. It's not just healing, it has to be missing HP that you heal. So if you're at full HP and you heal, it doesn't count as a recover. Same thing for stress reduction, and there's certain cards, like Mika has a 2 AP, she has a 2 AP source of water that, it gives back 2 AP and it costs 1, but becomes 0 if you recover. It has to be missing HP that you heal. So that is what the recover term means, and this is important because the boss deals damage, but it doesn't deal a ton of damage. And this means that if you want to maximize all of the healing cards that you're playing for Mika while you're generating your Shadow Daggers for Tressa, then you're going to want to find a way to reduce your HP, and that's where Glorious Resistance comes in. By reducing your HP, you're going to be able to maximize all of the score that you're getting from playing Mika's healing cards, and also the healing card from Cassius plus Tressa that you play. There's one more thing so I'm still in the process of farming my own stuff very slowly. It is more of a proof of concept than anything else, though I will show the actual Glorious Resistance later. There's a part here that mentions your combat score based on damage amount will gradually be reduced, and it specifies in this manner. So based off the way this is worded, it seems like specifically your damage score is going to be slowly reduced, but it does not say anything about your recover. So if your recover is being dealt at full, then it's also pretty important that you're able to heal up. This has some kind of interesting stuff just with the builds, because normally most people don't really care about how much their Mika is healing. That's suddenly kind of important. You want her to be healing a decent amount. Here I am at the second part of the boss. I'm going to use tactical analysis here. This is with the healing epiphany. We're going to heal a bit. 41, and usually there's text that pops up here telling you exactly how you scored, but there was nothing this time because we didn't have any missing HP to heal, which we will next turn, and we can take a look at it. I'm also going to play Glorious Resistance because I drew it this turn. We're going to use up all of our AP, and we'll see the effects next turn. Here, first things first, you see I got AP twice because I had 2 wave, I hit 3, so it's 1 AP, and then the second one is from Glorious Resistance. Let's see, I wonder if it shows up properly here. And we took fixed piercing damage, 392. That's exactly 10% of our HP, so we have a lot more HP to heal up now. I'm gonna grab my quest first. So we can play this, it's gonna heal us a bunch. 319, 957, and then 1907. And this is why healing is just important. You want to make sure that you have HP to heal, if possible, just because otherwise, like, if we didn't take all that damage, we would have fully healed to max a while ago, and we would have lost out on quite a decent amount of points. Now, the boss is going to just continually damage you, and that's why I mentioned that you do probably want to start caring about how much your Tressa is actually healing you at some point, just because eventually, like, your HP is going to start hovering the lower ranges, and you want to actually be able to heal all of that up, because more healing is also more score due to the way the scoring system works. But I'm not done farming this yet. Some pretty bad epiphanies on all of my characters, but this is just the proof of concept of the Glorious Resistance thing. I'm also going to end the turn here, and you can see we're going to take the damage at the start of our turn after the Sky attacks us. That's the 392 damage that we take. And now let's take a look at some of the rankings and look at what everybody's using at the top. Now let's take a look at some of the builds that people have on their second teams. One thing was I was looking at this earlier and he jumped an extra 110,000 while I was looking at it, so this is definitely not fully optimized. I think I've heard Asia server has higher scores than this, so we'll see how this shakes out, because we still got 2.5 weeks left. People need more time to farm out better save datas and everything. But this guy has one Glorious Resistance here on Cassius, and then one on Tressa. This Tressa also only has 2 Shadow Reloads, so it's only a 2 copy deck. The Mika, I get why he's not farming new stuff for this. This is a complete pain to get a better version of, especially since the increased heal amount of the next card used actually seems pretty useful in this specific fight. The really interesting thing, though, is this armor he has on his Tressa, Chains of Obsession. When using attack cards, 1% HP reduction. I assume this reads a bit weirdly, but I would assume this is 1% of your max HP as damage. Could also be current HP, but regardless, it means that you take damage when you play attack cards, and Tressa plays quite a few attack cards. A bit less in this setup because he only has 2 Shadow Reloads, but this is just another way to reduce your HP, I guess. This is the only person that I saw using this, at least near the top. And this comes from Blue Pot. It's one of the elite drops, so a bit hard to find, but potentially an option. You could also just go an extra Glorious Resistance, because there's some people up here with a lot. Let's look at the next person. This person has 4 Shadow Reloads, but then 1 Glorious Resistance here. And this one only has 1 Glorious Resistance. I think the person down here maybe has a bunch. There's 2 on Mika, and then 1 on Tressa, also with 4 Shadow Reloads. So eventually, I think we'll start seeing more people with this build. There's a few people here who don't have it. Like, I know the Rin person doesn't have it, and then I think KHM doesn't have it yet. Yeah, so people are going to need more time to farm out more builds. We'll see how high the scores get. This is really just taking a look at that specific tech. I'll do something going over the whole fight eventually. I just want to get some basic save data on my characters first. It is worth mentioning for anybody who hasn't noticed, there are weekly cumulative rewards, and these are cumulative rewards, so you don't need to score 500,000 in one go. You can do it over multiple runs, and it'll be okay. Just spam a few runs and get your weekly rewards. There's 4,000 pure white fragments in here, and then this is 120, 190, 270 stars plus a decent amount of units and the traces of memory. So definitely make sure you come pick this up. And that is it for the Glorious Resistance showcase. I'll do a bit more on this boss once I get some more save data.